Hello, everyone. I am Bogdan. I am your guest for the podcast. I am here today with Tudor. Tudor, thank you very much for accepting the invitation to the podcast. And without further ado, please, Tudor, introduce yourself.
Hey Bogdan, thank you for the presentation. So I'm Tudor Brad, I'm the managing director of BetterQA. We're a company that's providing software testing services, quality assurance management, and we could be doing the development work as well, but we don't want to have a development manager shoving bugs under the rug just to meet a certain deadline. So maybe you know the saying that a chef should not certify his own dish. So similarly, we don't want to have the development team validating their own code. So we are a business from Cluj-Napoca in Romania. We're about 50 people strong, and we've been at it since 2018.
That's very interesting. First of all, the opener question would be, what's the story behind your business?
That's a good question, Bogdan. Thank you for asking it. So I was a QA engineer before starting this business in 2018. So I was one of the first QA engineers on a healthcare-related project in the US in Sarasota in Florida. So those guys over there, they wanted to turn the page on pagers, and they wanted to create a communication platform that's, I guess, more in line with the current times that were back then. So when the iPhones first started, pages were still being used in hospitals in the US. So they wanted to add the iPhone and to create this voice alarms and text type of a platform that was pretty successful. So then in like 5 years time, I was managing a team of 12 QA engineers, and that project spanned throughout multiple US hospitals, right? So the history before BetterQA, or the story for how BetterQA came to life, was me just gaining experience and knowledge in this quality assurance type of field. And after, I guess, 5 years working on that project, I noticed that I plateaued. So I moved on to working by myself. And then in 2018, I was involved in another healthcare related project for which I had to employ people. So then I decided to just create a company. So that's when we started the company. We started with a referral, but we kind of figured out that we won't be able to succeed if we're going to be relying ourselves only on referrals, right? So we created some marketing funnels together with my wife. She's into marketing, so we were able to quickly, in a couple of years, we were able to scale up, and we are at about 50 people strong so far since 2018.
Okay, that's very interesting. Are there any trends that you're noticing in the market right now in 2025?
Yes, I think everybody's talking about this AI hype that's pretty similar to the browser wars that happened in the early 2000s. And that's being reflected towards the industry as well. But a lot of people are talking about AI, but they're not really putting it in practice, right? So what we've done is that we created a couple of internal projects that would help us understand how to utilize AI in your day-to-day work. And we created a couple of very powerful tools and for which we're now also looking to see if others are willing to utilize them, right? So there's this tool that speeds up the time it takes for our HR team to process CVs and to generate a PDF version of those CVs based on our branded guidelines, right? And instead of getting the CV, processing it manually and exporting it via a template that would take maybe 2 to 3 hours. What we're doing is that this process takes under 2 minutes, right? So that's one of the things that we've done internally with the HR tool. And then another tool that we've been building was the CRM sales assistant tool, which uses agentic pipelines to enrich and to help users follow up and do not forget about their potential leads or prospects. So I think over there's about 8 or 9 agentic pipelines that utilizes the data that we have within our database and then enriches it with what we're having online. If, for example, it's going to search what are the latest news or updates in regards to a particular business, for you to come back with an email or a message showcasing that you are informed and you know and you've done your homework about that particular business. So those are the HR and CRM tool. There's another tool that we worked on that's 100% aimed towards the QA processes. So you have let's say that you have a bug in the form of a screenshot. In that screenshot, you have the bug, right? You upload that bug in Bugboard. That's the name of our tool. Bugboard analyzes the image and it tells you what are the bugs that it saw with that image. Then it writes the report. It writes the Jira report for that ticket. And with that Jira report, you can actually like Jira. It can be like a bug report. So you can just create that ticket in Jira or Azure DevOps without the needing to manually write those steps. So that's a time saver. But what I've realized is that you need to also create test cases from that bug report. So that's what we've done. Within that bug report, now you send it to the AI test designer, which creates the test cases. And the very smart thing is that you can then push those reports into a test plan that exists within Bugboard. So instead of manually creating the bug report, identifying on what test cases those bugs should be integrated with, creating those test cases and pushing those test cases to the test plan, our Bugboard tool does that automatically just based on a screenshot. So that saves maybe 2 to 3 hours per day out of each bug for a company that documents their bugs into test cases on a day-to-day basis. So those are really powerful tools that I think they're going to make a difference in today's challenging times. So then, and another platform that we've worked on was this Flows app, which is a Chrome recorder app that utilizes AI to enhance the locator selection and to just generate variations of existing tests that you recorded manually. So the process is that you would record manually flows within your browser, and then those flows would be then, let's say, analyzed by AI in order for the AI to identify potential security or negative or performance tests that you could do with the same framework of the same flow, right? And then with those flows, you move them to Bugboard that would create test cases for the flows that you have generated. So you have everything documented so that in a future iteration, when you would need to rerun those tests again, you just rerun those tests in flows, and then those test results would be pushed in Bugboard and everything would be done automatically. So it optimizes a lot the time to action and the workflow of a particular QA engineer.
Okay, that's very interesting. Regarding trends as well, I've seen a lot of people in the IT industry. I know IT industry is the big one, but I see a lot of businesses that are transitioning more into making their own products and selling them. Do you think this is a trend happening right now, or is just me noticing these trends?
So right now it's much more easier to build products, comparing it with how much it costed to do that in the past. The biggest challenge right now is no longer to build the product, but the biggest challenge is to find the market for it, right? So initially you would need to identify the market to try to sell the product and then to build it, because the building part is easy to do. And then, I mean, anybody can build now stuff, but if you cannot sell them, you remain with the built product. And then what we've done is that we've built products that we use and that they save time for us. So yeah, definitely,
Okay,
it's much more easier to build products right now. But then if that product is not useful for anybody else, then then what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, that's right. In your opinion, is there anything that's making the landscapes for you, for your business, more challenging or easier to operate?
Well, that's an interesting question. So I think there's a lot of turmoil in the market right now due to the geopolitical decisions that are happening next to our borders and also globally. We've seen a lot of decrease in IT resources and for outsourcing in these past couple of years, especially based on this AI trend in which a business owner would mention that, hold on, we have AI, that developer could deliver more within the same allocated time. So it's challenging to understand productivity nowadays, right? And especially in this remote working environment in which after COVID, everybody wanted to remain at home to work remotely, but now business owners, they want people to get back to their office. And I don't think it's about company culture. So let's be honest, the business owners want people to get back to their office because productivity is not as high as it was when people were working from the office, right? So we also had that problem and challenge in the past. We are a remote first company, right? So in the beginning, we had some digital malpractice that we were receiving from individuals that were working from us. So they were invoicing us 8 hours per day, but they were probably giving us only actual 2 to 3 hours of their time allocated on our project. So later we found out that they were working on multiple projects at the same time, right? So we created processes that manage that risk for us so that we don't have that risk towards our clients. And we also built a tool that would help us identify those risks and to manage them internally. So that tool is BetterFlow, right? So it's a live product as well. And that tool just helps us create this transparency in this digital environment with remote work. So I'm not sure if that answers your question very well or not, but I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. So you have a lot of products. Every problem you have, you seem like you're making a new product. So if anyone's
Yes.
interested in Tudor's products, in BetterQA's products, I will make sure to link them in the description so people can also find out more if they want to do it. Okay,
Mhm.
now moving to the marketing side, I believe this is the industry that I work on. Because I believe that marketing and sales is a very important key element in any business. So the first question regarding marketing and sales would be, how do people find about your business and what you do?
So that was a great question. This is a great question that you're asking, and it took me a lot of time for me to identify to find the answer for it, right? Each business has their particular niche and I guess service. And depending on how your customers find you, that's something important for the business to strive and to scale up. And we've done Google ads, we've done Meta ads, we've done TikTok ads, Reddit ads. They didn't really work that well for us, right? So we've tried them all, also LinkedIn ads as well. And we've identified that we're not that type of a service that we can advertise, and based on an advertisement, people come in and talk with us. I think we're that type of a service similar to a restaurant, right? You're hungry, you're in a new city, you're going to look for something that's good to eat. What are you going to check for? You're going to type restaurants and then you're going to take a look at the reviews. So you're not going to go to a restaurant that has a 3.5 star rating on Google Maps, right? You want to go with a 4.5 or up, and for it to have a lot
Yeah,
of reviews. So that's what we've done,
yeah,
right? We were looking at the platforms that I guess evaluate our services, right? And we've worked to have reviews over there and to be on top. So that's kind of creating us a funnel of leads on a weekly basis, right? So this restaurant
okay.
metaphor, it took me like 5 years to understand and to apply
That's very
properly.
interesting. That's very interesting. Usually,
Yeah.
when I talk with people in the IT business, they usually um, get their leads from either referrals or events or networking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, your strategy is pretty unique. Right now, regarding marketing team members, how easy it is for you to attract and retain high quality marketing team members, if you have any, of course.
We have a marketing team that allows us to create content or to generate value on a day-to-day basis. I think we have about 3 to 4 people in our marketing team, and we are somehow active on LinkedIn on our customers' profiles. We're looking to create content online and to just interact with the audience and media, and particularly on LinkedIn.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you already have people that work for you in the marketing department, but how easy it is for you to attract and retain them? Like how easy it is for you to find them, like good quality people on the marketing side, of course.
So I think it's pretty challenging to have an expert that knows everything. Most of the things that we've done were self-taught, right? And we are firm believers of testing things out to see if they work or not, right? And I guess the marketing position is pretty, let's say, broad because you can be a marketing expert towards SEO probably, or towards posting or like LinkedIn or to Google Analytics or to, I don't know, the Google search engine or to WordPress or creating SEO friendly or machine learning friendly
Yep.
pages, right? So there's a lot of directions for which a marketing specialist can help on. It just depends on the direction that you feel or that the business owner feels that they are most likely to succeed. And that's only going to happen if you understand, if you know what you're selling, right? And based on what you're selling, you need to understand how would your customers identify yourself as a service.
Okay. Okay, that's very interesting. Right now, let's go to the current state of the business. So, as someone who I guess probably manages a lot of things, what are you responsible for right now, and how are you currently spending your day?
Well, I'm actually focusing a lot on product development on these products that we're having and that we're building internally. I want to ensure that it's saving as much time as it can for the team that we're having internally on the sales side and on the IT recruitment side. So that's one thing. I'm also participating in calls that people might want to have with us in order to get our business right. So, and I think that's pretty much it. Also discussing with the marketing team and the sales team. So I guess that's where my focus is around. And from time to time, I can also interact with a couple of projects on which maybe we have some problems. So I'm directing resolutions to those problems. So it would be marketing, sales, and business development. Those would be my areas of interaction, and also product, I guess, development. So a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's now go into more of the metrics side. So right now for you, what are the most important metrics? It may be, I don't know, pipeline growth, net promoter score, whatever. What are the most important ones for you right now?
Well, I mean, from my side, I think for everybody it's about scalability, right? And then for us to acquire the customers that actually need our services and to also identify the customers that might want to utilize our product as well. So I think that's what's most important for me right now.
Okay, so basically scalability.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving into the goals, because you also said the scalability. What are your goals for the next 6 to 12 months?
I guess some of the goals that I'm having is to finish up with the products that we're developing and to identify customers that are utilizing these products, right? And
Okay.
to successfully utilize our products within the customer base that we're having right now. So those are the goals that I'm having at the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there anything right now for you that matters like more than anything else?
The team. I think if you don't have a good team that can deliver the services that you are selling, then you're not able to achieve anything. So you could be the best seller in the world, but if you don't have a team that delivers, then if you're selling bad services, then the customer retention will fail. So I think it's very important to have a strong team behind the product or the service that you are selling or providing services towards.
Yeah, this makes sense. Right now, here it comes one of my favorite questions. So right now, if you've had a magic wand that you could wave to solve one thing, what that one thing would be and why?
It could be a pretty broad statement, a magic wand to solve a problem that we're having right now. Well, I guess just the customer funnels, right? So I think that pretty much drove our entire focus in 2023, 2024, and 2025 to identify funnels that would continue for us to generate potential leads, right? So that caused us or made us to reinvent ourselves several times for us to identify what is the best approach right now to identify new customers for the services that we're providing and now for the products that we're providing as well. So a lot of time has been spent into a lot of directions. So if that wand could just clarify the way to move forward, that would help a lot.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's pretty
What is right now? I
basic. I
guess.
mean,
Yeah,
so I was saying that this probably
yeah,
something that
exactly.
everybody is mentioning or saying that all of them, all of these business owners have the same problem.
Yeah, I mean, you would be surprised. I got a lot of different and interesting answers throughout my short podcast career.
Hmm.
But yeah, the question is specifically to get interesting answers. So yeah,
Hmm.
right now, what is your priority number one?
My priority number one, I think it's the limitation between the work and life balance, right? So I've been starting to work more than
Okay.
what I would expect or want, and I want to change this in the near future to spend more time with family and kids and to have a better delimitation between work and personal life. So I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much, Tudor, again for participating to the podcast. I was Bogdan. I was here with Tudor today. I believe we've did an interesting podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.